G'day, you rates. I want to have a look now at the percentage question just on that first kind of revision sheet. Now, one of the interesting things about maths is that we can express exactly the same thing as a fraction, a decimal, or a percentage. So consider the fraction of a half. A half, let's go to percentages first. I'll just get rid of the drawing, sorry. So half as a percentage, we kind of know if we've got half of a pizza, we've got 50% of a pizza. Right, so 50% is the same as saying 50 per 100, 50 divided by 100, which is the same as a half. So half is the same as 50%, and as a decimal, a half is the same as 0.5, or you could put 0.50 as 50 hundredths. So let's have a look at some of these others. We start with 0.33 as a decimal. I think that's probably easiest as a percentage first, right? 0.33 is 33 hundredths. So that's just the same as 33 divided by 100, which we know is 33%. And equally, as a fraction, we can have that as 33 divided by 100. And there's no real way of simplifying that. If it was 33 and a third, that gets down to like 1/3, but let's just leave it as 33 hundredths. And they're all the same thing. The next one is 25%. So 25% as a decimal is going to be 25 per 100, 0.25 or 25 hundredths there. And as a fraction, it's going to be 25 divided by 100, which is the same as, it's just giving us autocorrect there to 0.25, we already knew that, 25 divided by 100. To simplify the fraction, we can say we can divide both the top of the fraction and the bottom by 25. There's a common factor there. 25 divided by 25 on the top is 1. 100 divided by 25 leaves us with 4. So 25% is the same as 1/4, which is the same as 25 hundredths. Now we've got to do some calculations of the following here. 33%. 33% is just 33 per 100. So I remember it's 33 per 100, 33 divided by 100 multiplied by 220. And when I calculate that, and I've got my calculator just here on the side, so 33 divided by 100 multiplied by 220, that gives me 72.6. Okay, let's go to the next one. 75% of 110. 75%, 75 divided by 100 multiplied by 110. That's just our sum. So I'm going to put that into my calculator. And when I put that in, 75 divided by 100 multiplied by 110, 82.50. Okay, and over on our third one here, um, 120% of 85, I'll just do it over here. 120% of 85 is 120 divided by 100. Now it's going to be bigger than one. It's going to, because 120% is more than one whole. 100% is a whole. So we're expecting the number to go up. 120% of 85. And so let's just calculate that. Well, it's actually automatically calculated for me, and I'm happy that's the right answer. 120% of 85 is 102. So they're the first sort of calculations that we've got to do, having filled in that table, converting from fractions, decimals, and percentages. The next is saying, well, what if we're trying to find a percentage? I've got maths tests, but it could be other things. It could be, for example, that I ate 5 pieces of pizza, 8 is the whole. What percentage of the pizza have I eaten? And it would be 5 divided by 8, the percentage I've eaten divided by the whole, and you would calculate it that way. In this case, our sum is going to be 22 divided by 40, that's the fraction we've eaten, multiplied by 100 to give us a percentage. And it calculates that 55%, and that looks pretty good to me because it's just over half of the result that they got. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, 36 out of 50. Now you might be able to see that 36 out of 50, right, if we're looking at what it is out of 100, you're going to double that, because you double 50 to get to 100, double 36, you get 72%. I reckon it should be 72%, but let's do the sum. They got 36 out of 50. To make it a percentage, we multiply by 100. And what do we get? 72, which I think is what we estimated it would be. And the last one is just 39 out of 60, multiplied by 100. Let's have a look at it before we try and guess it. 40 out of 60 would be 2/3. We ran about 66. So it should be just less than 66, I reckon. There you go. 65 is the answer there. Let's move on. Let's move on to the. This is a little bit tricky. Now, this is I'm doing it the way the textbook does it. Different people can do it a different way. Right. So 22% equals 2,200. So the next thing I want to do is find what 1% equals. So 1% equals 2,200. The 2,200 we had when we had 22%, we've got to divide it by 22 to go from 22% to 1%, which equals 100. Now, we're trying to find the value of the whole. So 1% equals 100. 100% is going to equal the 100 people we've got in every 1% multiplied by 100 times to go from 1% to the whole. I reckon that should equal 10,000, and that's what the maths tells me there as well. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, 35% equals $140. We want to try and find out what the whole sum is going to be. 35% equals $140. So we're going to say 1% is going to equal 140 divided by 35. Okay, because 35% was 140, so 1% is going to be 140 divided by 30%, divided by 35. So 1% equals 4. The last thing we're going to calculate and say is, well, what's 100% equal? What's the whole equal? If 1% equals 4, the whole is going to equal 100 times 4, which equals 400. So if you're given a fraction and you have to find the whole, that's how you go about doing it. I think the last two types of questions are around profit and loss. Bob bought a house for $220,000. He sold it for $300,000. What percentage profit did he make? Okay, let's have a look at this. First of all, let's calculate the dollars profit, and that's going to equal, he sold it for $300,000 and bought it for $220,000. Okay, so he's saying he makes a profit of $80,000. Now, in real life, there's other fees that you have to pay, like real estate agent fees and stamp duty, things like that. But we'll just use that. So he's made $80,000 profit. So the percentage profit is going to equal the profit divided by the starting amount multiplied by 100. So let's have a look at that. He's made $80,000 profit. $80,000 profit divided by, started with 220,000 multiplied by 100, and that gives him a 36.36% profit. So let's say 36.36% profit. So simply calculate how much it is and then find the percentage by saying it's the profit divided by the starting amount multiplied by 100. What about when we go the other way? Alison bought some concert tickets. She got sick. She couldn't go. She sold the tickets for $380. What percentage profit or loss did she make? Well, she's bought the tickets for $500 and sold them for $380. She's made a loss. So let's calculate the dollars loss first. So it's going to be the $500 she paid minus the $380, which means she's lost $120 on the deal. So now we're going to find the percentage loss. So it's going to equal the loss divided by the starting amount multiplied by 100. So putting our numbers in, the loss is 120, the starting amount is 500, multiplied by 100 equals 24. So she's lost 24%, around about a quarter of what she spent. And when you think about that, 120 is about a quarter of 500. So it's exactly a quarter of 480, so 24% makes a lot of sense.